The basement of the Empire State. This is the Basement Surge.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the Basement Surge, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me this week. All right, another week, another episode is what I like to say. On this week's episode, I got the two guys, Mark and Brian from Talking Shtt, and we're gonna do exactly that. We're gonna talk shit. But before we get into today's episode, do me a favor. If you're listening on a podcast listening app, or if you're watching over on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, hit that plus button, give me a thumbs up, ring a bell, hit whatever button you gotta hit to make sure you get notified of fresh episodes of the Basement Surge. All right, so we're doing pretty good on Instagram. All right, our followers keep coming, and it's amazing, and I want to keep it going. So do me a favor, if you're not following us over on Instagram, go over there now and do a little search at Basement Surge, and hit that little button. Give us a follow, because I'm really trying to build up the platform, trying to build up the audience, and we go live over there all the time, and I'm putting out some pretty awesome content over there. If I do say so myself. So, but on today's episode, we are literally going to talk shit with the two guys from Talking Shtt, Mark and Brian. Guys, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
I'm doing good. I'm good. Mark, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Perfect.
Thank you very much for joining me this week, guys. I really appreciate your time.
And we really appreciate you having us back on the show. We love the Surge, dude. Like, if we weren't going to be on the Surge, we're watching the Surge. You already know,
man.
Yeah,
man. Well, I really appreciate it. You guys have shown tons of support in the past couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
And I love you guys. You guys are awesome. It's funny because I kind of got a little stuck this week because Thursday, Friday came around, and I was like, oh shit, I don't have an episode for Surge. What am I gonna do? And in the clutch, you guys came through. I was like, all right, I'm gonna message these guys from Talking Shtt. I got a couple of the guys, and I was thinking about messaging, but let me talk to these guys first and see if I can get them on. And thank God you guys are available.
Whoa, we're first?
Yeah.
Wow.
First pick? Yes.
About time I got picked first.
Listen, dude, I remember dodgeball back in high school. I was always last pick. And I'm tall. I think it's because I'm a big-ass target, and everybody's like, yeah, not that good.
Yeah, you're a big dude. Yeah.
I'm just tall. I mean, now I'm fat. I'm tall and fat now, so.
I guess it happens,
Shit
But
happens.
well, you see, like I knew you guys were coming on, and I'm kind of like, I'm really happy that it's you guys that have come on, because I wanted to debut this new mug that I'm drinking from today. And
I love that.
Yeah.
and it's huge, it's big, and it's black.
That's great.
And it says "Welcome to the Shit Show."
Mark, what the fuck, dude? Get those. John, those are fantastic. Where'd you get that?
I got it from some novelty store in the Staten Island Mall here in Brooklyn. And they had a bunch of funny mugs that said stuff, and I was like, oh, I got to get that. And then, just by circumstance, you guys came on, and it just happened that way. So.
Dude, that is, I absolutely love it.
He might have to go to the mall for us to get us a couple.
Yeah, and
Well, wait a minute
what's
now.
that?
We got these fashionable new shirts that we got with our logo, and then I don't know if you can see the back of this, John. So I'm gonna grab this real quick. And, I want to show this off if you don't mind.
Yeah. Okay.
So same, but it's the shit show, and I tested it, and you can actually scan the damn QR code.
Awesome.
It takes you right to the page.
Awesome.
Dude. So
where does it go? Your Facebook page or your YouTube channel? Where's it go?
Yeah, Facebook.
It takes you right to our
Nice.
Facebook. So and
It's
then
gonna. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, Mark, you got it linked to YouTube. You got the link up there for YouTube, for TikTok.
Yeah.
That kind of.
The QR code is directly to our Facebook, And eventually, if we ever decide to do a website, we're going to take that QR code and just make it into the website where it goes directly there.
Nice.
But that's still that's a little bit down the line. I'm not trying to do that just yet.
We're playing with a few things. We're playing with a few things.
Nice. Yeah. Well, it was funny. I was telling Mark earlier. You guys are really kicking ass over on YouTube. You have like
I don't even know how. Like
you have over 1,000 subs. Like good for you guys. Congratulations.
We're very popular in Turkey with the females.
It's my last name, I think.
With the females,
The females over in Turkey love.
I get that. Yeah. With the females, I get that. I can see that. Yeah.
Hot Turkish.
They might like my beard that took me like
we are actually doing really well, and what's crazy is we have a private Facebook page, right?
Yeah, you have the group. Yeah,
Mark accidentally made it private. Right.
I don't even know how I don't even know how I did that.
It was an accident. It happens. Well, once you're private in Facebook, unfortunately, you can't go back to being a public page. We have 426 people.
Yeah.
27.
Like every time I come on Facebook, you guys are like welcoming like 10, 15 new members. And I'm like, holy shit. Like your group, your Facebook group is blowing up.
Well, John, I don't know what it is. It might just be this bald head of mine, or they like short guys.
Or,
I'm not
Mr. Tucker got us a bunch of them not too long ago.
Yeah, we did have a comedian on our show, and all of a sudden we started gaining we
gained over 100 in like a day, and they were all wanting to be there for Bryce Tucker. Right. But the problem is they wanted to be there for Bryce Tucker, but not that many watched the show.
Right? Nobody wanted to be there for you, just Bryce Tucker.
Right. Just Bryce, yeah.
I mean, all of them kept saying, they'll stay for the they like what they see, they'll stay for the show. But when Bryce Tucker was on the show, we didn't have that many show up for it. And I blame it a little bit, I can't blame it on us because we definitely advertise it on all platforms. We advertise it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But now that I'm using AI for, the Facebook stuff.
Oh, see, he done told on himself now.
Yeah, don't give away all the secrets, man. Come on.
I love it. I love
it. Have you?
Brian
Mark does really good. Like he's posting a lot more now because he can actually talk without. Like I don't have to reach back out to him and be like, "Bro, you spelt there." It's one of those, John. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like that pisses me off. Like I don't want to be the grammar Nazi, and I'm the fucking grammar Nazi. And
I'm the same way, Brian. Same way.
The other day, I put the wrong word in. I don't know how I managed to do that, but I didn't go back and reread it.
Right.
So he sends me a message. He says, "It's supposed to be this word. I can't remember what the word was right now." And I'm like, I went in there and I said, "No, it's not. It says the right word."
And I hate it. And Mark's like, "Oh no, if you see something, like fix it." And I'm like, "Mark, I can't fix it. You posted it, so you got to go back and you got to fix it." So
I mean, I'm kind of the same way. Like I'll ask my wife. Like I'll correct her grammar. I'll correct the kids' grammars around the house. But like my wife just started Basement Ladies. Like if anybody doesn't know, she started her own like show on the Basement Surge YouTube channel called Basement Ladies, where she's basically the lady version of the Basement Surge, but she'll talk about specific things that have to do with being a mom or being a woman and stuff like that, and being a wife. And my wife will be the first person to tell you that she's not the best speller in the world. So
AI was wonderful,
right? And she's been playing with it, but she'll also like yell at me for being the grammar Nazi, and fixing her grammar. Meanwhile, she knows she can't spell, and when I go to fix it, she'll get mad at me like I did something wrong. I'm like, no, just learn how to spell, and we'll be okay. Like,
so So my wife knows me, and she knows that I was not this way a long time ago, but someone in my family had started posting stuff. So I had to read it out loud because it hurt my head. And you know what I'm saying, right? Like when you get into, you're like trying to read what they've posted on Facebook, on social media, and you want to support that person, but then you're like, okay, well, that was fucking wrong. And then why the fuck did you say that? What the fuck is that word? Is that even a word? It's like two words combined, and I'm positive that's not a word. And I hate to be that guy. I just can't help it.
I know it's something
I'm that
we
guy
can't
because
help.
I was terrible.
We can't help it, Brian. We can't. We really can't. Like, we want you to be the best that you can possibly be, and we don't want you to sound stupid doing it. You know, like that's the whole point.
My biggest thing is I can't talk into the phone. You know how people can talk into the phone and have the, it come out in a text message and stuff. No, it tells me something crazy. I talked in the phone one day and I sent it. My wife sends me back a message saying, "What the hell is this shit?" And I went back and read it. I'm like, oh my God.
And that's the hard part about me. Like I'll, in my truck, I'm driving. So I'm like, hey, text Mark. Right. And I tried to text you the other day instead of calling you, Mark, just to say, hey, just wanted to give you a heads up, going to check out the shirts and blah, blah, blah. I think I ended up calling you because I was just like, hey, just want to give you a heads up. I've already taken care of the shirt situation. That part's done, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. Like, I talked to Siri, and this bitch pissed me off so bad that I wanted to drive the truck like I was going 60 and I wanted to hit the gas pedal even harder and go, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
you know, like it pissed me off that bad. But she'd be like, oh, it says this. Do you want to send it? No, no, do not send that.
So
he'll do it from his watch too.
Right.
And you have to guess at what he's saying sometimes.
Yeah, I do that too.
The one time I had to laugh my ass off the one day. I'm like, what the hell did you put?
So you guys got your shirts done locally at a shop?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so
we found a print guy. We paid a little bit. You're going to pay a little bit more, but what was great about our guy Willis from Monster, what is it?
Little Monsters.
Little Monsters.
Yeah.
In Ocala, he gave me the original shirt when we had the original artwork. And he pointed out everything. He said, unfortunately, you have an unlicensed logo.
Right.
He said, whoever did your logo, they screwed you.
Okay.
So we didn't find out until we got the first shirt made because we were excited about having the very first Talking Shtt logo. We were super happy. And he was like, man, unfortunately, you got the short end of the stick here. Okay. So then we found a good friend of mine who I worked with in the past. He's a realtor now, and he's got a program on his computer. And he said, what are you looking for? And I told him, and he made this. And then I said, I want to change it up a little bit. We want to do this. We want to do that. And he was very easy going about the whole thing. And then I was like, well, what do I owe you? And he was like, I want a shirt.
That's it?
So I was like, what? But we give him credit at the end of our show. Yeah, his name is at the end of our show for our logo because that is without him, we wouldn't have this.
Sure,
logo.
Why not?
Right. So. Did Ricky ever come get the shirt finally?
No, still hasn't come got it.
What the fuck?
All right, guys. So
what I was talking to Mark about though was I love your hat. And I really want the BS hat, because that's the basement surge.
Hat, man.
It is, dude. And I want one. And I said, Mark, I don't know. I'm just going to tell John that I want one of those hats. Yeah. And then I'll send him a shirt and then we'll trade. I mean, I don't know what you're paying for the hat. I'm sure is that a Richardson?
Richardson? No.
It's just a flat bill.
Yeah, it's a nice looking hat. Flat bill and snapback,
Okay.
but not original. Not fitted.
Yeah, see, I I couldn't have a flat one like this. I have to have.
Yeah, it's got a curve around the face. For me, I like the curve. But yeah, it's like stitched. You can feel it kind of, and it's really nice. And you're not the first person to say that you want one of these hats. Like I've gotten so many emails saying they want a hat, and
do the pre-order stuff, man. That's what we're trying to do.
I know.
You see, I was trying to tell Brian that there's a company out there that'll take care of all the stuff to do with our shirts, but I couldn't find out how much that they paid, or how much we have. To pay
you're not getting a damn thing. Listen, we pay. Quite honestly, man, we pay a little bit more for these shirts, but I like the quality of them.
We also own all of it.
Sure,
but we own the whole thing.
So how many shirts did you get made?
I only did 10 at 100. So 10 cost $164, 165. Okay. So they were 13 something a piece, 14. Call it 14.
Okay.
We're selling for 20. Right. So, but that money goes back to the show.
Sell them for 25. First of all. Okay. $25. Okay, like even, and then just sell them. It's a good profit. It's a good profit margin, because the my hats, if I was to sell them through the website, they'd be like $25-$30 a hat.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah,
but then you got to add shipping on top of that too.
Well, I mean, shipping's kind of included for me, so.
So then we would have to do 25 shipped, or we do $20 plus shipping. And that's where we were with $20 plus shipping for anything XL or below. And then if you're a 2X or 3X, and this particular brand wears a little tight. And I was telling Mark, I was like, I'm wearing a 2X and I'm fat, but like my arms, I feel like I got freaking guns.
Yeah,
dude.
I mean, like this is how that's how I feel in this shirt, because it's tight around the sleeves, around the shoulders, and I like that. This shirt,
but this right here is great.
Yeah,
you know.
So making the merch is so much fun. Especially for podcasts, especially for our shows. There's just so many different ways that we can go with this, as far as t-shirts and hats and coasters. I have with the old logo, I have a Basement Surge coaster, right?
Oh, dude.
So,
we never even thought of that.
Yeah, I got coasters for our drinks.
We could put those in local bars here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. But
we thought about cups. We thought about shirts. Not sure about hats yet, because we just got to figure that all out.
I love that mug. It is fantastic. That is a great mug. That's a great mug right there, dude. I'm telling you. But
it's huge.
But anyway, let's get off of this merch shit. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about what's going on with Basement Surge. We know we've watched Heather, and we love her show.
Yes, we'd like to have Heather on our show.
You can talk to her all you want. Don't talk to me to get to her.
Basement Lady. We need to get her on the show, but we need to. I feel like she might need a partner because it's Basement Ladies. And if I'm wrong, I apologize.
No, she do fine on her own. She can hold her own as far as guest appearing. She does great.
Hey, she talks.
No, I was talking about for her show. Yeah, for her show, does she need a co?
No. I mean,
You don't think she needs a co?
Yeah,
for Basement Ladies.
She does.
I don't get two girls together, and the next thing you know, it's a fucking firestorm.
No, she does awesome by herself. She's a great solo host. She actually we're kind of, because she launched Basement Ladies like a week or two ago, so we're still in the development phase kind of. Her show is still molding into something that she wants it to be. And for the past couple of days, we sat down and we really talked about it. And I think she has a solid plan on where she wants her show to go. So I'm really happy about where she wants to bring it. And I'm really excited because she she loves podcasting. She loves being in front of the camera. She loves doing shows like these, and she actually has a lot to say. So she kind of doesn't need a co-host. Like if you notice, like during her live shows, I've been producing her live shows. In the background, like I've been controlling everything.
Yep.
And I try to not talk as much as possible. Like I try to just let her do her thing and just let her get it out and talk to whoever she wants. And just, if I have to talk, then it's because I have to, I'm not trying to join the conversation. I'm not an off screen co-host kind of thing. It's just, I'm just there to help. So, it's now with the plan she has for it. It's just, I'm really happy for her because, she's excited for it. She loves talking about all this stuff and it's going to be great. So
I loved her episode when she talked about your guys' staycation. It's staycation, right? Because you live in New York, but you guys went to the city, which I thought was absolutely fantastic. You get to see so much more stuff in the city.
Sure.
I miss going to New York. I miss living in Jersey for that point. It literally took me an hour, I think, to drive to the city.
Right.
But it was so much fun.
Yeah, I mean,
it was like you're a different person when you're in the city. I think.
I mean, she's been here for, I want to say, almost 7 years now. And I think the amount of time she's been to the city, I can count on one hand. So it's not like she gets out there much to really just explore or take in the sights, and it's something you really do need to experience, at least a bunch of times, especially if you're living in New York. But, like the other day we went to Central Park, we walked around Fifth Avenue, we went to Saks Fifth Avenue, we went to Tiffany's, we went...
The real Saks!
Yeah!
You went to the real Saks! Right. Yes! Yeah. I heard about Saks on 3rd.
Yeah, so that was kind of part of her episode because she had called it the Marshalls of Saks Fifth Avenue. Where it's kind of the low budget Walmart version of the actual Saks. We were so disappointed walking into this place because it was like just any other department store. We were like, what the hell? And it was like, they had Coach bags and bins like just thrown together, and we were like, all right, whatever. But they were still priced like $200-$300. We were like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, absolutely. Those are these are the best knockoff bags we could find. If you want to spend $2 or $3 grand, you got to go over to Fifth, and there you go. You got Saks over there.
And that's the thing is,
I remember that episode. It was great because she was like, "Yeah, we went to Saks on 3rd," and I was like,
"It was terrible.
No,
it was terrible."
And they got the Saks for on 3rd. That's for the poor rich people, and then you got the one on 5th. That's for the filthy rich.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah, because people when they say, "Well, I bought it at Saks," it doesn't. I guess it really doesn't matter which one.
Which one? The one on 3rd Avenue or the one on 5th?
Nobody's questioning it.
Yeah.
So,
oh man,
no, I can't wait to see where she goes with the show. I was thinking like, for Basement Ladies, is she gonna reach out to other women and be like, hey, I have so and so on the show today, and today we're gonna talk about freaking bras or why women. Listen, my wife tears the fucking wire out of her bra. Mark,
my wife buys bras that don't have wire in them.
John,
I don't know.
You don't know if your wife has ever tore the wires.
No, she's not that I've seen. No, I don't think she tears the wires out. No.
My wife has to get special ones anyways, because hers is so
No comment. But no, she'll eventually she'll work up to maybe having a guest on here and there. But the format of the show is more like a like a vlog kind of thing, you know, where she's going to be taking video throughout the day of what happens, like with the kids and with the family and how and what she's really cooking for dinner and stuff like that, you know. So it's going to be more like a daily vlog kind of thing.
And I think like your kids are in school, I assume.
Not yet, but they will be. Yeah.
So when they hit school. When they hit school and they come home from the first day of school, I think that's going to be a really great video.
Yeah. The first day of going to school and then coming home.
Home.
Right.
Yeah, I can't wait until one of the kids is like, I don't ever want to go back to that place.
Right.
I said that the first day of kindergarten. I didn't want to go. I said I want to quit the very first day. I'm not going back.
I think that was probably our generation, Mark. I mean, I think in my generation and yours, we were probably the same. Like, we hated school. We didn't want to go to begin with, but then when we were there, we had to had to go find a corner to go hide in, kind of thing. My kids, both of mine, love school.
That's great.
Absolutely fucking love school. I couldn't stand it. I was like,
my kids too.
Both of my daughters love school.
Yeah, my kids too. They love school. They can't wait to go back. You know,
that's
my
awesome.
daughter, who's starting her second year of high school now in September, is already like organizing and planning like her day and what she's gonna do. Like from the moment she wakes up to the second she goes to bed. So it's like she's super. Everybody's super excited to go back to school.
Good.
Yeah,
that's good. Like I said, I don't know about you, John. How was yours? You know, going to school and coming home, that kind of thing. That like, were you like us? Were you one of those? Like, I don't want to go to school tomorrow.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm gonna call out sick.
Well, that depends. All right. Like if you're talking about elementary school, you know, then I was excited to go. Like I loved going to school, you know, elementary school, middle school. Middle school, I think, was the best years of my life. Like I still have friends to this day from middle school, you know, that I made in that school. So middle school was the best for me. But high school, forget it. Like stay in school, kids. Kids, like here's my disclaimer on this. Okay, kids, stay in school. Don't do drugs. And, you know, just stay in school and go to college. That's it. That's my advice.
Yeah, go to college.
You don't even have to go to college. Take up a trade. I mean,
no, go to college.
Get a good trade. If you're going to get a trade, you better get a good trade. Don't get a.
Right.
Well, I want to be a mechanic because
mechanics are going to be obsolete before.
Yeah, become like
they make $14 an hour. Who wants to do that?
Become like Brendan from Dad's Worldwide. He's a master plumber. You know, be like one of those guys. You know, those guys kick ass. But
electricians make a ton of money.
But high school, when I got to high school, okay, like just so it's out there, like I did sophomore year 3 times. Okay.
What are you doing, John? What are you doing? I was gonna say he graduated in freaking his sophomore year. That's where I was going with this.
Hey, I had to do my senior year twice.
Yeah. No, I did sophomore 3 times.
I actually just had half a year. But
so
a year and a half.
So what had happened was that I met a group of kids who like to have fun.
So did I.
Okay, and I like to have fun too. So I hung out with them and said screw that. But I went to a school. Okay, I went to. Let's see if I can get some popularity for this. I went to John Dewey High School here in Brooklyn, New York. Right. And Dewey has a campus. It's more like a college campus. Okay. It's not like a regular, typical high school here in Brooklyn. And, you know, so during our free periods, we would get to go outside and hang out on the campus and sit on the grass. And, you know, so I would do that and, you know, just hang out and not go back inside, you know. And I remember my second year of high school, I had loads of friends, right? Like I was one of those guys that was super popular in school. And so I had a lot of friends who thought like they were the cool kids, you know, who hung out by the statue on the campus. And, you know, so September came around, the school started. I went in for my schedule, and I got my schedule, and I never went back. But I went to the campus. I went to the school. I just didn't go in the building, right? And I didn't go. I didn't go in the building until January. From September to January, I was outside hanging out with my friends, doing God knows what. I'm not going to say on the show, but I was doing God knows what. And my mom came up to parent-teacher conference. And she went up to my science teacher. We went into the classroom, and my science teacher, she's like, "Hi, I'm John's mom." And he's like, "Who?"
Yeah, which kid is yours?
Right.
Can you point to the kid that's yours?
Yeah, but I'm standing right next to her, like
she's like, John, this one. He's like, I've never seen that kid before in my life.
Right.
And then you're toast.
Yeah, and then I was chopped meat. But
listen, Mark was almost the reason that I didn't want to go back to school. Like I had this program, he knows. Like, Mark was the greatest bad influence that you'll ever meet. It was so much fun hanging out with him. He had the only car in the parking lot that wouldn't go in reverse unless you put your feet out and pushed it.
That was that one car, yes.
That was that Mustang.
I loved that car. It was great until the reverse went out.
So the school, I found out later that the school will actually send a recording to your house and let your parents know that you didn't show up for class.
Oh, shit.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Had a little outing with my friend Mark here, and came back.
I don't know what he's talking about. I didn't do shit.
I was at home, and my dad comes into the room.
Plead the
says,
fifth,
son. He says, "Son, did you have class today?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Uh-huh. He goes, "Okay, well, the school called and said that you weren't in school."
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh, you know what? I was probably at the counselor's office." I think he checked on that the next day, and then it was downhill from there.
Yeah.
Downhill from there. I was like, "Oh, shit."
Right.
My mom would get the call, say, "You didn't go to school?" "Nope." "Okay, your ass better be in school tomorrow."
Well, there you go.
Okay. I'll go, but I got the best sleep in school. I'll tell you that.
Wow. Yeah. So over here, what they would do, like if you cut class, they would send a letter home and snail mail, in the regular mail. And so what I used to do is that I used to get home before my mom every day, so I check the mail and get the mail out of the box and, throw it away.
Oh, smart.
Yeah. So
throw it away.
Yeah. Well, not inside the house. I would throw it like on the street or something, And, one day after she had caught me the first time, we got another letter home. And because, of course, I didn't learn my lesson. And, it was bad news for me. But, it was good times. Like, I loved high school. I loved the friends that I made. I had such a great time. I would probably go to class if I had to do it all over again. I do the right thing. I really would. Like, I'm not
I think
just
I
saying
would
that,
too.
Yes. If I was back in my day, back then,
Yeah.
yes, I think I would go do more things than what I did.
I think I would have, I think quite honestly, man, I was a do just enough to get by in high school kid. And I think knowing now what I know now, if I'd have known that then, I would have done better. Right. So yes, I'm in the same boat with you boys. I'd go back to school, but I'm not just going back to school to go to school. I'm going to fucking learn some stuff. This is happening.
Yeah.
Because
No, I'll go back just to finish the classes, just to get it done. But I did.
You gotta work for it, though.
I know, but I did wind up. I wound up having to drop out because I aged out. I wound up getting too old for high school, right? And I had to get my GED, so I got my GED.
My wife got her GED, and we call that the good enough.
That's
degree.
exactly what I call it. The good enough
it's
diploma.
Good enough, dude. You're good.
Yeah. Exactly.
So let's see. My wife is going to Alaska in a week.
Really? Wow.
The day before she leaves to go to Alaska, I am taking her to the Steelers Tampa game.
Dude.
The other day, she asked me if she was dying.
Is she part of the Make-A-Wish Foundation? No.
It's you know, I told her, I said, look, this is just going to be your year. You know, I think this is just going to be a better year.
Nice.
I mean, my wife has what's it called, Mark? Oh, God damn it.
Mark knows.
Where your muscle, where your stuff doesn't work, your joints.
It starts with an R.
Oh, rheumatoid arthritis. Real bad.
Okay.
She has RA, right? So if she goes a week without getting a shot, like, she will become crippled.
She gets like the cortisone shots?
I give her a shot of meth or
That's
something.
okay.
Some kind of meth. She takes meth.
Your wife's on meth. It's okay.
She gets some meth, and yeah,
he gets to stab her with the needle and, you know, have fun doing it.
Listen, it's the only time I get to poke her in the butt. This show's not PG-13 or anything, is it? I mean,
this is why you're on the surge, man.
John gets canceled. I get fired.
Screw
you're the
that.
new host of
You are not the.
Talking Shtt.
Believe me, people have said worse on surge. Don't worry about cancel culture.
Hey, just remember this: he can also edit shit out.
No, I'll leave it in.
Yeah.
But you know, that's what she said. My wife, when she was pregnant,
I love it.
my wife, when she was pregnant, had to get she had to give herself shots every day in the side of her stomach for.
What is that shot?
She had to do it because she used to get blood clots with her previous pregnancy.
Okay.
So with this new pregnancy that we went through with my daughter, she had to give herself shots every day, and you know what, like, guys, I couldn't do it. Like, I couldn't give it to her, let alone give it to myself. Like, if I was in her position, like, I'm sorry, but we're not having a kid. Like, I can't jab myself like every day.
When the doctor, when we went in and this whole thing happened with her,
Yeah.
and the doctor was like, well, you're going to get a shot once a week. I thought, cool, I get to drive you to Ocala.
Right.
This is what we're doing. You're going to go see your doctor. No, it was not that at all. It was, sir, do you know how to use a needle? And I was like, excuse me? And I'm telling you, for the first probably 2-3 months, I poked myself. We had to get a new needle. I broke the tip. That's what she said. I didn't squeeze the air out and had to give her the thing. I had to have somebody come and do it for me. I mean, there was a whole train wreck to giving someone a shot. It's not easy. No. So for your wife to be able to do it for herself, God bless her, because
she was a trooper, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah. I don't want my wife to have to give me a shot, but if it comes down to it, I think she's just
I don't want anybody giving me a shot. Screw that.
Yeah, shots aren't that bad. I mean, I have to do them every 2 weeks.
I'm fine as long as I turn my head.
No.
I got to turn my head away.
Needles don't bother me at all.
Yeah.
But
I don't like it. I don't like giving blood. I don't do the whole needle thing. So
I don't mind giving blood, but once again, I have to turn my head. We're turning my head.
I gave blood starting with junior year in high school, and just to get out of class.
I was thinking about like selling my blood and donating my plasma, you know, just to make some extra cash. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not that hard off where I need the money. I'm like, you know, screw it.
You literally get like $17. So I mean, it'll get you like a burger or something.
There you go. Yeah.
Not now. I mean, they're introducing $24 hamburgers and shit like that.
Well, there you go. That's just
at McDonald's.
That's a
McDonald's and Burger King.
Yeah, I donate some blood. I can get a 6-pack of beer. So it's fine with me.
There we go. Done. Sign me. Where do I sign?
Yeah. So,
do I get the free cookies while I'm sitting there too? Because that's a bonus, dude. It's like I get money,
the cookie and juice,
the cookie and juice, yeah, and a free T-shirt if you're good enough.
Oh, they give away T-shirts. Yeah. I want a T-shirt.
Well, here in Florida, they do these. Like whatever the popular shirt is at the time. The blood bank will be like, oh, let's put suck my blood or something, or it's Friday the 13th, go donate blood before Jason lets you do it. You know what I mean? Like they do dumb stuff like that. And then on the back it says Citrus County Blood Bank, blah, 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 donor. I mean, those are good. Those were good shirts. Sure. Right, Mark? They were free.
That's something you should wear on your podcast. School. You should wear that on your podcast. Yeah.
The only one I think I'd wear on the podcast is I bleed orange and blue for my Gators.
There you go.
That was a cool shirt.
So
I bleed orange and blue.
So the Florida Gators are doing good this year. How are they doing?
We haven't started the season yet. So Friday, what we got? We got NFL preseason games on have already started.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The games have already started.
3 weeks. We got 3 weeks from today for the very first college game.
For college, and then postseason it starts end of September.
Right.
No,
is that
beginning.
Right? Beginning of September.
There's only 3 preseason games now, instead of 4.
But the only time the Steelers will be in Florida is during a preseason game. Any other game for the Steelers is, like they travel. The Steelers will be at home when Jacksonville goes and plays them in Tampa, and so on and so forth. So we got tickets for the home game for preseason for the Steelers versus the Bucks. I'm not a Bucks fan. We're going to the Bucks Stadium. I'm going to get booed out of the fucking place because I'm going to wear my jersey and I don't give a shit because I'm a Steelers fan.
Right. Okay.
So
it's like me when I go, I'm not a Bucks fan. I'm Detroit fan.
Guys, it's pretty bizarre that you're like Northeast kind of fans, than not Florida fans.
I'm from
Michigan. My family's from PA. So I wanted to be a Florida fan. I tried.
I didn't know that. All right.
But
Never
Miami
mind. I understand.
Awful.
I totally get it now. Totally get it.
I couldn't jump. Even when the Bucks were playing good, I could not jump on their bandwagon.
It's funny because I want to say for the past 15 years, I have been a New England Patriot fan, right? And I love the Patriots. I was a diehard fan, even in New York. Living here in New York, if you name a sport, I am not a fan of any New York team, right? No. So for baseball, I'm a Dodger fan, which is literally Los Angeles, California. Okay. And I also like the Cardinals. Okay. So in baseball, but football, I was always a New England Patriot fan. So, and then when Brady left the Patriots and went down to Tampa Bay, I kind of joined Tampa Bay. I was like, all right, I want to see what he does down there. I want to see what he does for the team, and he did amazing. But then he didn't. But then he did. But then he didn't. It was kind of flip flop as far as Brady goes for Tampa Bay. But now the NFL for me for football, I'm kind of up in the air. I think because I don't know where to go. I'm like one of those lost fans. I'm trying to find my team. And, I don't want to jump on a giant bandwagon because I'm from New York. I have to like the Giants or the Jets, I don't want to be one of those people. I want to find a team that I like because of certain reasons or whatever, and And I haven't found my team yet as far as football goes. And I love football. Like my wife loves football. She's from Pennsylvania. My wife Heather's from Pennsylvania. And
Cool.
she loves the Dallas Cowboys.
Not a Cowboys fan. Not a Cowboys fan. There's not a lot of those anymore.
Right. So
yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of people look at, oh my God, I want to be a fan of this team, but they lose, or I want to be a fan of this team, but they get so much shit.
Well, that's the thing. I mean,
here's the thing. I mean,
God, I'm sorry.
no, you're fine. I apologize. What I was going to say is, I mean, if I weren't a Steelers fan because of, you know, family roots kind of thing, I think I would probably have been a Tampa fan or a Jacksonville fan. You know, Jacksonville came into the NFL in the early 90s. I was in the military when they became a football team, and I was like, holy crap, I can't believe we got a team in Jacksonville. And I was like, I want to sign up and get season passes, and I never did.
Right.
And thank God, because they're god awful.
Well, see, that's the thing, okay? Like I understand about you being from a specific place and it being in your family roots to root for that team, you know, because for me, the Dodgers are the same way, because I can remember when I was young, I'd hear about my grandfather and my great uncle liking the Brooklyn Dodgers, but then they moved over to Los Angeles, right? So, you know, I was like, all right, well, I'm looking for a baseball team. I don't like the Yankees, number one, because honestly, I think the games are rigged and I think they win too much, right? So, you know, it's like I'm not.
Shit, they ain't winning anything with these
guys. Well, you know, it's kind of like, all right, I think they're kind of overrated in a sense, you know? So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go across the country. I'm going to see who's doing what, like who's doing good. But at the same time, I remembered, I was like, all right, well, my family used to like the Brooklyn Dodgers, so let me just root for the Dodgers, you know, because it's a familial thing, you know.
There were 3 in the
So I liked that about sports, you know, where you have a family connection to it.
Yeah.
I mean, my team's used to losing all the time, so, you know, I stuck with them no matter what.
And I'm going to do the same thing. I mean, I'm a Steelers fan.
And that's the thing, because, you know, if you are a fan of a team, you do stick with them when they lose.
When lose or draw.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, the Patriots. I was never a fan of the Patriots. Yeah. And then everybody was like, oh, well, I'm a Patriots fan. I'm a Patriots fan. And I had a guy from New England. And then all of a sudden, when Brady came to Tampa, he was no longer he was a Tampa fan. And I was like, you're a Tampa fan. You're not. You're a Brady fan.
I'm a Brady fan.
Right. See, and that's the thing.
I like Brady, but I didn't like the, you know,
I could care less.
I like seeing him. He's from the University of Michigan, so that's why I like him.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see him succeed, and you know, he did do that. But you know, I don't have to go for his team.
Right. So, Mark, what are your thoughts about him retiring?
I think he could have won another season or two.
I don't think so.
Still done good.
I don't think so. I think he was done.
Not with the Bucks. I don't think with the Bucks he would have done it. I think he would have done better if he would have went to a different team.
I think he should have went back to New England, finished off one last year, gone to the Super Bowl. You know,
take New England again.
Take New England to the Super Bowl and then retire. You know, like. Because it's you know what, him going down to Tampa Bay is kind of like Michael Jordan going to basketball, going to baseball. You know, like
going to baseball. Yeah, that was.
Well, I mean, look at what you know, Michael Jordan when he went from the Bulls to Washington Wizards.
Right.
You know, that's what it reminds me of.
But nobody cared that he went to the Wizards.
Nobody cared.
No, he wanted to be an owner, and that's what he was trying to do. But, you know, shit happens. But I'm not a Michael Jordan fan neither.
Okay.
They remember Jordan from the Bulls, though. You know, 23.
Right. Right. Everybody thinks he's going to be the same thing. He's going to do the same thing. He's going to be this. He's going to do that.
When
He
played
didn't do
baseball,
shit.
what was his number? What was the number when he was playing baseball?
Oh, I
Because he
don't
played
know.
for the Sox, right?
Yeah, he played for the farm system of the Sox.
Yeah, it's the it's not the double A or whatever.
league.
It's the it's the minors.
Yeah, he did a double A. It wasn't
Double
Right.
A. So and the same thing. Like I've got customers that I know personally that have played in double A leagues, right? Which are like pitchers of the Cleveland Indians, and I was like, you played baseball for the Indians? Cool.
Well,
and then I try to look them up, and I'm like, wait a minute.
technically, they're the Guardians now.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember
All
this.
right,
Your
let's get
show the other
politically
day.
correct
No,
now.
he pulled this up the other day, Mark. I don't know if you watched the basement search the other day.
When did you become?
They were talking about that.
Yeah, that's like the petition going around getting Washington, Commanders to be back
Right.
Redskins.
Just yeah, the Redskins.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
I can't stand the name Washington Commanders and
I really
Washington
don't care
football
what their
team.
name is, dude. They're Washington. It's just Washington.
Washington, yeah, but then when they went to a Washington football team, that even made it look worse. For
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. It's because there was nobody that had any kind of idea.
I thought, quite honestly, calling themselves the Washington Red Wolves would have been good. But then, that's also a Native American name. So they couldn't do that. And it's not the Native Americans that are having problems with it. It's,
right. It's the white people.
Other people.
It's the woke culture.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty terrible. But all right. So we're going to switch gears a little bit. Tonight, while we're recording, Mark is missing SummerSlam. Mark, how's it?
No, I'm not. I'm watching it.
How's it going over there? Was it?
I was going pretty
What's
good.
it look like?
It's the first time I've ever seen Brock Lesnar shake his opponent's hand after losing.
Oh, he lost. Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
Brock Lesnar lost. I can't even say his name.
Cody beat
Cody
him.
Rhodes. Cody beat him.
Wow.
He pinned him fair and square. And Brock Lesnar went over to Cody, shook his hand, gave him a hug, raised his hand, gave him another hug, and then shook his hand again.
Is Brock retiring?
I think he's on his last contract. I think he's about ready to be done.
It sounds like he's retiring.
I think he was passing the torch to Cody.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Here's the thing: when he was when he came out as Cowboy Brock Lesnar and the fans loved him, everybody loved it, Mark. And why he didn't stay face, dude, is beyond me.
Because of Vince. Vince
heel.
is the one that turned him back to heel.
He's a great heel. Don't get me wrong. He's a great bad guy. He's going to be the best bad guy.
I liked it that it showed that he had different personality. Yeah, the charisma to do that.
Depth in his character. He's got that.
And they would not let him do that before. But when Vince retired for that short amount of time, Triple H got the chance of talking Brock into doing this stuff.
Yeah.
And and then when Vince came back, that's when Brock went back to being bad. So I'm wondering if this is turning them back face again.
Is it just me, or am I the only one that thinks that Triple H is not doing a good job in running the corporation?
He's not running it. That's the bad part. He's only running it part-time. Vince is running it the rest of the time.
I mean, even though when Vince, I think when Vince kicks the bucket, I don't think I don't see a good future for WWE. I really don't.
Well, that's why the UFC bought into it,
right?
So somebody could take over and keep it going. I think what they should have done is Vince should have kept his nose out of the booking part, and I think everything would have changed differently. I think Triple H has a mind on him that could make it work, but you have to let him give a chance instead of, okay, Vince is retiring, and then all of a sudden Vince weasels his way back in. Unretired, and, Stephanie quits. And I think Stephanie could have made something better than what Vince could have.
I don't know.
Why did Vince come back looking like the guy from not the Munsters, the help me out here. You know who I'm talking about. Adam's family. Why did he come back looking like
Lurch?
Look at a picture.
Wasn't it Lurch?
No,
not Lurch.
Gomez.
The husband.
Oh, Gomez. Yeah,
Gomez.
Yeah, Gomez.
Look like Gomez. I was like, what
look at the picture of Ted Turner, and then look at a picture of Vince. They have the same fucking mustache.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was laughing my ass off when I seen it. I was like, oh my God, he looks so stupid with that pencil ass mustache. I'm like, man, I couldn't even do that shit.
I seen that on TikTok a couple weeks ago, and I was like, what the hell is wrong with his face? It was kind of like, painted on, like his.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It was like his mustache, his eyebrows, like his even his hairline, it was like painted on. It was like if he started sweating, he'd be in trouble.
See, Vince and Linda, they're not getting a divorce, but they don't live together. They haven't lived together in almost 12 years.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow.
And that's why he's got a younger girlfriend. He's been hanging out with John Cena and his wife.
Look, Mark knows a lot of shit about what's going on in Yes. Yeah, you can't see John Cena. Come on now. He's behind me, isn't he?
He's right there, dude. I don't know. Maybe I don't see him. Yeah.
He might be doing the lap dance on you. I don't know.
Oh, stop. Mark follows wrestling more than probably you and I combined.
John, I don't watch wrestling at all. Like after the Attitude Era, I refuse to watch wrestling nowadays because it's such bullshit.
See, that's whatever. Right. Well, a lot of people are that way. They watch during the Attitude Era. And then, it's like, okay, I've been watching since 87, 86.
Right. So have I.
I've watched all different types, and I still do. And I love watching it because it's fun because it tells the story. Right. But if you don't tell the story right, then it's pointless. I
guess. But you know what, Mark? It's like back in 86, 87, like in those years, I grew up thinking that wrestling was real. Okay, that wrestling was literally a fight between two guys and whoever won. Now,
right?
Through the years, like especially during the Attitude Era, like I realized, okay, wrestling's fake. Like the matches are predetermined, and they're gonna tell you, all right, you're gonna take a bump here. We're gonna, now you learn that the wrestlers talk to each other in the ring, right? And they tell you what. Yeah. They tell each other what they're gonna do, right? So,
right, but you can't say that all the moves are fake.
No. I'm not saying it's fake because these guys actually do really get hurt. Like they're actually really doing these things. Okay, like it's not fake in that perspective. It's fake as far as the outcomes.
You already know an outcome.
It's fake as far as the outcome. And.
Right.
These guys are literally putting their livelihoods on the line. They're risking getting hurt every day, but it's like after the Attitude Era, like when I want to say when Stone Cold, Triple H, and like Hogan and everybody started to kind of like fade away, that's when this new PG era kind of.
I can't stand that.
No, this is bad.
The PG. Yeah, I want them to go back to at least PG-13 or.
I want to see the chair hits. I want to see the chairs again. I want to see them getting thrown to tables.
Well, yeah. The only thing with the chairs, I mean, I love the chairs. The only thing that they won't do now is hit you.
Right. See, like
they're not allowed
that's
to
bullshit. That. Like I want to see.
I'll take a chair shot.
Let's like what the
in WWE, you won't see that at all.
I know.
A headshot on that. But if you go to AEW or you watch, SoCal Pro, let's take them for example. You're going to see them take a chair shot. Because they're trying to make it in the world.
Absolutely.
Right, because
WWE has a certain standards that they can go on.
Because WWE is the biggest guy in the yard, right? So everybody else is trying to catch up to them. So they're going to do stuff that WWE is not going to do, which is the chair shots, the table stuff, So I really think that the WWE has sold out to being just entertainment and not just wrestling, not just the fighting, not just the bouts, like I loved back in the 80s and the early 90s when I thought that Hulk Hogan and Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior,
they were fighting. Yeah,
they were really fighting over a belt, and like it was the best man, left standing, and nowadays it's just acting. It's entertainment. It's different. It's not wrestling.
But if you haven't watched it, watch AEW.
Okay.
Because that one is more entertainment than or more wrestling and violence than it is.
Well, I'm not.
They don't really have a whole lot of stories.
I'm not really in it for the violence either. It's just just wrestle.
You gotta have a good storyline.
It's not really about the storyline either, because I don't give a shit about
why are we wrestling? Are we wrestling just to wrestle?
Right.
Let's wrestle over.
John Moxley, he doesn't need a storyline. He's really to beat up
right,
anybody.
and that's the point. Like with WWE,
I'm over watching him.
Right, but with WWE, it's like who's gonna marry who's beating on who. Like it's a soap opera. Like.
Well, that's all that wrestling has ever really been.
You gotta find that happy medium is the problem.
Yeah.
And AEW has more. I want to bleed and I want to get beat up and I want to beat people.
It's about the fighting. So it's about the matches.
And I'm not
which is good. But okay, first of all, I want to see a match that goes 7 minutes to 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. I don't want to watch a wrestling match for 35 to an hour.
Right.
I'm done.
Well,
at this point,
if the story tells it right for a half hour,
it's not about story.
45-minute match. It depends on who's wrestling, and it depends on if that match is worth it. If you have a high flyer and fast movers and stuff, that match goes by quick.
Yeah.
But if you have people that can't wrestle that are just big, that match just crawls like little by little, and it's not gonna get the ratings.
And that's the whole thing. Like who those people are already fucking in the match already. This guy's gonna hurt himself or somebody else. Yeah. You got a giant fucking guy in there, and what does he do? He grabs somebody by the head because he's got a giant hand, so he claws them.
That's why most.
And then he just holds them there for 4 minutes, and you're like,
and he whispers in his ear like,
hey, cheering, but now I just want it to end.
Yeah,
right. But also in those matches, bigger ones, like the Giant, Paul White,
right?
Paul White,
his matches were shorter. Because
he couldn't fucking breathe.
Get much out of big people.
Okay, I don't know.
Like Rey Mysterio.
That's the whole thing.
Rey Mysterio can, he can make a match go 30 minutes, and it's like it flew by.
Yeah.
So it just depends on the.
Well, that's because it's about the entertainment.
It does get boring to watch. But I also don't like those. When they give a woman match 3 minutes to do whatever, and that's it.
I can't stand the women matches, and I think we're going to talk about that another time. Because I never liked the diva matches back in the day in the Attitude Era. I wasn't one for the women.
I like certain ones.
I mean,
I like the laundry.
Right. I mean, I'm a guy too. I like watching, the laundry matches and the TNA matches and all that stuff. But
hey, come on! I remember when Lita and Edge did the sex show, and you seen her boob on TV, and they could not bleep it out.
Right. Oh man! All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining me this week, Brian and Mark. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being such good sports. Yeah.
Oh, look.
He's watching SummerSlam.
You're not supposed to know that. You're going to get in trouble. Damn it.
It's his show, not ours. Oh.
That's all right. I'll take the hit for it, guys. Don't worry about it.
And that was for a brief second, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
John, this has been a great show, man. Thank you for having us on.
Yeah, we're going to have to have you on our show and, go a little.
If you get canceled, it's all his fault.
You can't cancel the Surge.
That guy right there.
You can't cancel the surge.
You can't cancel something.
Thank you very much for coming on the show this week, guys. I really appreciate you.
No problem.
I know.
Time to finish watching.
I know that it was kind of last minute, getting you guys on, but I tried.
Oh wait. Hey, hold on. One more thing before we get off here. Since this comes out Tuesday, everybody that wants to ever watch, you can't speak today. Shit. If you ever want to watch our show, come to Talking Shtt on Facebook, and
we're live on Thursdays.
We're live on Thursdays, and our guest this Thursday is Landon Harvey.
There you go.
The trailer play.
There you go, everybody. You heard it here. Live shows every Thursday. And these guys put out a great show, like Talking Shtt, SHTTT. Links to...
We're trying not to get kicked off of the freaking air,
That's all right.
dude.
Yeah, man. Keep it going, man. All right. So the links to everything the guys do is down in the show notes below. So go check it out. Their Facebook, their private Facebook group, and their YouTube channel is down in the show notes below. So go check it out. As far as the Basement Surge is concerned, do me a favor. Hit that follow button. Give us a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Ring a bell. Hit the plus button. I don't care what button you hit. Just make sure you hit a button to make sure you get notified of fresh episodes of the Basement Surge. We come out with new episodes every Tuesday. Live shows every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. And the Basement Ladies comes out with new episodes every Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? No, Wednesday. She's going to kill me. Basement Ladies comes out with new episodes every Wednesday. So go check that out over on YouTube. YouTube only. So make sure you guys subscribe. Brian, Mark, thank you very much for joining me this week. I really appreciate you.
Thanks for having us, John. We appreciate it.
All right, guys, stick around for the green room after. Everybody, I'll see you next week.
Let's go. Turn up the volume. From the basement of the Empire State, this is the Basement Surge.